About to put my page on private on the dead homies. I got 24 hours to follow before it's a secret society type thing going on the schoolyard crib. Blueface home.
Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back to a mental break. Thanks for tuning in. This is Deanna. Thank you to new subscribers and thank you to current subscribers. Okay, here in the mental break, we take viral stories and we break them down to what makes sense, who needs to be held accountable, and who has a mental illness. Now, you saw the video. Blueface is out, so you know what that means. The circus is back in town, guys, just in time for Thanksgiving. So here we go again. Blueface comes out, says you got 24 hours to follow him, and he's going to make it private, and then he's going to start his mess. So I'm curious to see what's going to happen from here, because guess who followed Blueface? Me. And I I followed him for y'all to see what he going to do, because he's making his page private, so we don't know what he going to post over there. So I want to see what he going to post. I'm only following him for a little while to see what's going to happen, and after that, I don't care, because I'm just going to bring it to y'all. That's all. Just for content, just for this here, for people who really give a damn, and people who don't get a chance to follow him before he makes it private. Uh, so I'm curious to see what Blueface is going to say, and I'm also curious on how Chrisean is going to act. So I don't know if he got out today or was it yesterday. So all I know is that he's out. And there's quite a few people putting up videos about him being out. His mother put one out. They met him at the bus with his father and a few other people, with the kids and everything. So that was nice. He spent time with his kids when he first got out. So that was nice. Unfortunately, Blueface got them tattoos on his face that really looks bad. And I hope he has them removed, because he's not a bad looking guy. He might do things we don't like, but he's not a bad looking guy. And those tattoos on his face just makes him look scary. I'm sorry. I don't care what nobody say. He looks scary with them tattoos. I'm sorry. It's not a good look. I don't like tattoos on people's faces anyway, but it just looks scary to me. He just looks scary. It looked like he'd been through something. That's what it looked like. It looked like, the tattoos might have been a coping mechanism for him on his face. I don't know. I don't know what that's all about. But anyway, I wish Blueface the best. I hope he can get it together. I hope he stays away from Chrisean. I hope he is able to get Junior some help. I hope he can use his influence over Chrisean to get Junior some help, because Junior needs help. It's just that simple. I don't know why she's going from podcast to podcast, taking that child, sitting him in chairs like he's, a stuffed animal, knowing that child can't support his own weight, knowing that this child is just really just needs attention. It's very clear. One of the concerns that I have recently is when that boy Bino, whatever his name is, said that Chrisean doesn't feed him food, she only gives him milk. That's a concern. Does she only give him milk because he can't swallow food? Does she only give him milk because he has a stomach problem? Because if that's the case, if she would take him to get help, they would give him a tube for that. He would get a feeding tube. And, it's a more technical term for it. But, because for those of you who don't know, I am a nurse. I've been one for over 20 years. And there are feeding tubes that Junior could get, because there are some children that need feeding tubes when they're young. But as they get older, they work with them, they help them heal, and then they can remove the feeding tube and the child can eat on their own. But because Chrisean has not been taking this child to get the necessary care that he needs, a lot of his needs are not being met. And that's where Chrisean messes up at. Let me tell you where Chrisean went wrong. Let me say something. And I know Chrisean is not going to come across this video, and even if she does, it's too late anyway, because she didn't already screwed up. If Chrisean would have came out when this baby was born and they told her what was wrong with her baby, because I'm sure that they did. I'm sure that if the child was born addicted to substances, or if substances was in his system, or if he has fetal alcohol syndrome, they would have told her that. And if Chrisean would have came out after she healed up, mind you, heal up, whatever. If she would have got on social media, because her whole life is on social media, she loves it. Okay, so this is the time to get on social media. Okay, So if she would have got on there and said, and went on there and said, listen, I really screwed up. I didn't take this seriously. I was in a bad place. I thought that, Blueface wanted the child and he didn't. I went through all this stuff. And yes, I was, drinking while carrying the baby. I was using substances while carrying the baby, and I shouldn't have done it. And this is a result. And I want y'all to use me as a cautionary tale for all you young mothers out there, or any of you mothers out there that want to drink and use substances while you're carrying a baby, because now I have to deal with a child who has a lot of issues that needs to be addressed. And if she would have came on camera crying, sniffling, and being real and authentic about what she did, this could have all been behind her. What could have happened is people would have offered her help. If she would have came on there crying, and if she would have explained it in a way, because Chrisean comes from a bad background. Chrisean comes from a family. I saw a video over the weekend where Ronnie did the one that went to the upper room. He did a video and he talked about all the charges and criminal history and all the cases that Chrisean's family has, in that family, with neglect, abuse, and violence, and drug, substances. All these things are, he said, it's all Maryland public record. He said you could go look it up, because the guy kept saying, you mean alleged, like the podcaster, the one who, has the podcast. He kept saying, you mean allegedly? You mean alleged? He said, no. He said, it is Maryland records. He said, look it up. Put their names in. It comes right up. So he said it's public record. And Ronnie has known Chrisean since they were in high school. He's known her for a long time. He knows their family. He's from Baltimore. He knows all of them. So they all know each other. So he went on a podcast and said that. And if Chrisean would have got on a stream and would have said, listen, I come from a background of, abuse, this and this and that. And what she should have put in there is no excuse for my behavior. It's no excuse. I did this. So now I have to live with this for the rest of my life. I have to take care of my son and get him what he needs. Chrisean would have got help. She would have had people reaching out to her if she would have been honest. Not only would she have people reaching out to her, she more than likely would have had brands that have products for autistic children. They would have paid her to use their products on her stream to get the attention of other parents that have autistic children. That's what I said. She don't even realize that she could have taken this and spun this around and still would have gotten the help that Junior needed. And Junior probably would be better than what he is right now. He would have gotten physical therapy, occupational therapy, whatever else he needed. If he had an issue with swallowing or GI issues that would have been handled medically, all these things would have been done. But instead, with her running and hiding and pretending it doesn't exist, this child is now 2 years old. And some of these things may be irreversible because she waited too long. Some things may have been able to be corrected early, and then he probably would have had a better chance of certain things. When children are born like Junior, you have to start working on them as early as possible to give them the highest quality of life. So she should have been started on him because he's 2. So he should be feeding himself, even though he's autistic. He still could be feeding himself at this point if she would have started with him early, because he does grab. He was grabbing at his socks. We saw that. He does grab. He grabs at things. He might not grab when you put it in front of his face, but he does grab at things. He does hold things. And this is something that he could have been working with. They could have been working with him this past, a year, really. Because his first year, they probably would be doing a lot of physical PT with them, OT, working on some medical issues. And then this second year, Junior could be in walking braces for all we know. He could have been in walking braces. She never took him to get the care. So I'm not going to be on here long. I'm hoping that since Blueface is out, that a lot of things will come to the light and Junior will finally get the help that he needs. because again, I'm not so sure that this baby is Blueface's baby, but I think everybody's going to be looking to him to do something about this because he agreed that the baby was his. He said it. And he said on a podcast, because I saw the clip, that he was paid $100,000 to say that Junior was his. So I don't know if Junior is his or not. So I can't say that. But what I will say is that people are looking at Blueface to come, to do something about Junior. Not so much Chrisean, but Junior, because Chrisean is going to continue to run wild and do what she want to do. Speaking of Chrisean running wild, do what she want to do, this is to go to show you that this girl don't got it all with the processing. She got this new boyfriend, and they said he's 19, either 19 or 20. Well, she bailed him out of jail, 50,000. She bailed him out of jail. So if you got 50,000 to bail this boy out of jail that you barely know, you couldn't take that money to get your son the care that he needs. This is what I'm talking about. See, this is the kind of stuff I'm talking about. This is why this girl clearly has some real issues, and nobody can do anything with this girl because she's the mother of this child, and CPS has to come in and intervene. And see, this is the thing. This is the thing about CPS. People keep saying CPS is looking for her. As long as Junior looks clean, he doesn't have any sort of scars or bruises or anything on him. Chrisean can show that he has a roof over his head and that he has everything that he needs. CPS is not taking him. I'm telling you that right now. Now they can open up an investigation, and what they can do is they can assign her some sort. What can happen is a report can go to human services for her to get some sort of case manager or caseworker to follow Junior to see that he, work with Chrisean with medical appointments and stuff like that. They're not going to be quick to take Junior. They're not. They're not, because yet there are some things that are alarming, but again, with CPS taking a child from the mother, it has to be some real stuff going on. And I'm not saying what's going on with Junior is not real. What I'm saying is that DHS doesn't like to take a child, especially a young child, away from the mother unless they absolutely have to. And when they do that, it's because the child is in danger. Now, we see him as being in danger because she's not taking him to get the services that he need. And also she's having him in a smoke shop at 1 a.m. and all that kind of stuff. And how many ghetto mothers take their babies out at 1, 2 in the morning and they on the corner with a baby smoking a blunt? So you can't always go by that. That's what I'm saying. You can't always go by that. So that's why I said, if CPS was really going to take her baby, they would have taken that baby by now. They would have taken it. What it is that Chrisean has not shown like gross neglect, because that's what they're looking at. No roof, malnourished, no clothes, no diapers, stuff like that. That's what they look at. So as long as he is looking like he's healthy, even if he's looking like he's healthy, he's clothed, he doesn't appear to have any bruises or anything on him, they're not going to take him. So this is why I'm hoping Blueface will step up and expose her, which will push her to get Junior the help that he needs. Because that what needs to happen. Nobody's calling her out on this child. Nobody around her is really calling her out publicly about this child to really make her go get this child the help that he needs. Blueface is about the only one that could probably do that. So I'm going to get off of here. We're going to see what happens. Like I said, I wasn't going to be on here long. I'll be back with another video because I got a couple more for y'all. I just wanted to get on here about Blueface because this is a mess right here, y'all. I'm telling you, these next few weeks is going to be something. All right, y'all. You guys take care, and I'll be back soon.